Hello, church. My name is Bill Christian, and I've been a member of Shepherd of the Lake for over 30 years. Justin, please introduce yourself.
Hey, everyone. This is Justin Lewandowski with Beacon Interfaith Housing Collaborative, and I'm really excited to be here today with all of you and with Bill.
Thanks, Justin. I'll start off with my story. When I was in junior high, my family had a fire in our apartment, which had spread from the building next door in the middle of the night. We lived on Main Street above the local jewelry store in this small town in southwestern Minnesota. And we were able to live temporarily in our local hotel for 2 months while our apartment was being repaired. But it wasn't like home. And to be out on the street on a cold November night, sitting in a neighbor's car, while the fire department put out the fire in our home, was not a pleasant experience at all. I've always had taken to heart the command of God to care for the poor and disadvantaged. And in the Bible, Jesus implored us to feed the hungry, give drink to the thirsty, clothe the naked, and give shelter to the homeless. And that has always had a special meaning for me. I've always thought that God might have wanted me to open my house to the homeless. But with a family, that's impractical for most of us. But what is practical is our supporting efforts like Beacon Interfaith Housing to build and convert buildings to affordable housing. And to do this, we will need everybody on board. Our society can solve homelessness, but we need the motivation and the cultural change to do it. We have the money, it just has to be redirected. Now, Justin, tell us about Beacon.
Oh, thanks for sharing your story, Bill, and thank you for also reflecting on how we are called to do this work and how we are called to make sure that we are lifting up our voices and our values into the public arena. Beacon Interfaith Housing Collaborative actually started as one congregation who saw the need in their community, and they ended up renovating an old nursing home to create dozens of homes for folks in their communities. And that to me really speaks to the heart of what Beacon is about. We know that we need to provide shelter today, but also we need to build homes. Prairie Point, for example, Bill, you've been really involved in this process. Prairie Point would provide 42 homes for families experiencing homelessness in both Scott and Carver counties. Family supportive housing means that in these homes, people would have access to childcare, they'd have access to job training, mental health and addiction services, and family supportive housing, it's the best way to end the cycles of homelessness. And so with these on-site supportive services, these families are going to be able to not just get out of homelessness, but to be able to thrive. And to what you said, Bill, it is about changing the culture as well. I think that it breaks my heart that there's this narrative around people who are struggling with housing and homelessness, that it's somehow their fault, that they are lazy, that this idea of not in my backyard and bootstraps. And as we are called as people of faith to not only lift up our voices and values, it's to change that story, because we believe in a different story, one of abundance, one where everyone is deserving of grace as well as shelter. And so Prairie Point and the advocacy that we've been working on to make this project a reality is because of folks like Bill and dozens of other folks from congregations across Scott and Carver counties, by lifting up their voice, by looking at advocacy as giving. When we lift up our voices and our values, that is a way for us to give back to the world, letting them know that we want these solutions, and it's grounded in our faith values. And so, at Beacon too, though, we recognize that we can't build ourselves out of this crisis. We need to change systems. We need to advocate for statewide policies. And so as we lift up our voices into the public arena, advocacy as giving allows us to change the culture, to change systems, and to let our neighbors know that we're not just serving them, we're standing with them. And so I'm really excited, Bill, for us to be able to continue this work and looking at advocacy as giving, because when we give our time, when we give our voices, when we give ourselves and lift our faith into the public arena, that's how we know we're going to make change. And so we've got a whole lot of time ahead of us in the weeks, months, and years ahead to make sure that we continue to lift up our voices and advocate for our neighbors. it's really been great to be here with all of you. And Bill, thank you for this opportunity. And Shepherd of the Lake, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.